both myself and Hunter are probably pretty excited for. And Cal's never really played this franchise, have you? So it'll be interesting to see what you're...
Nope, but he was very quick to swipe it up for his fantasy draft.
Oh, did you swipe that up? Nice.
I did.
I forgot about the fantasy draft. I really should have bet on that.
God damn. I bet high on that because I thought you were going for it.
I forgot.
I bet like 10 or 15 on it.
I forgot.
I forgot to swipe on it too.
Oh my god, guys.
That's so funny because I should have gone for that and I just didn't piece them together. But the two main reveals, I guess, were at the end. One of them was Life is Strange True Colors, which is essentially Life is Strange 3, which I guess I'll talk about first because Hunter's on push to talk. I guess that's how that's working now. That was a weird noise. Anyway, basically it's another Life is Strange game, but this time it's made by Deck Nine, who, if you don't know, are the people that did Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is a really interesting game to me because Life is Strange Before the Storm, in my opinion, is the best made Life is Strange game. I don't think it's not my favorite, but I think quality-wise, I'm like, yeah, it's a lot better made than Life is Strange 1 and 2, which is funny because it's not the studio that made Life is Strange. But yeah, True Colors is coming out in September. Kyle picked it up on his fantasy draft because he's an absolute bastard. And I forgot.
You could have picked it up too.
I forgot. I'm not going to live that down. That's like one of the one game coming out this year, and I didn't pick it up. Feels bad. But it stars...
Can you believe I have both games of the year on my list?
Truly tragic. But it stars this Asian American called Alice, who went through the adoption system, who is now going to a new town where her brother lives to start her new life, is essentially... the premise of the game. And man, I don't know about you, Hunter, as a Life is Strange person. Life is Strange 2 didn't click with me. I've mentioned it on the podcast before. We talked about it with Tell Me Why. You're going to have to do your push to talk shenanigans. You're muted as well. You're muted as well. Garbage Truck on Fire. If season 2...
I still didn't play 2 yet.
Oh, you haven't played 2? Well, there you go then. Puppy squeals on our end, by the way. But no, Life is Strange 2 to me was a huge disappointment, which was a shame because I really love Life is Strange 1, and I've talked about it to death how Life is Strange 1 and Before the Storm really impacted me in a really weird way for how much of a cringe fest it is. A great cringe fest, but a cringe fest nonetheless. So looking at this game, one, can I just say, it's a massive step up visually from Life is Strange 1 and 2. I don't know if you've seen Life is Strange 1 and 2, like even bits or like screenshots of it, Kyle, but man, is it a step up. Like game,
I saw you play it on stream a few times.
Yeah, this game looks miles better visually. The performances look great. Everything about this. I went from going... I think we talked about Square Enix Presents, not on the podcast, but we talked about it last week as we were getting ready to record and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm not really interested in Life is Strange at the moment. Like, I don't really care. And then watching that, I was like, damn it, they've got me back in, man. Like, I'm in already. Especially because that girl that they got, MXS2, and that artist that they announced. Funny enough, here's a little thing. If you know, I do a radio show. About a month and a half, 2 months ago, I was looking for new music to put in for a song of the week or whatever. So I came across this new artist called MXM2, and I was like, this is a really interesting artist. And I described it on the radio, get this, as Life is Strange-esque vibes. I said that I got Life is Strange vibes from MXM2, and here we are, like 2 months later, and she's announced as not only doing some of the music for the game, but also the main character's singing voice for the game. Yeah, vocal performance, which is crazy. Which I thought was really funny. I was like, hey, I got in there before Life is Strange. That's funny. But no, the puppy's gone now. Hunter will probably be back. So now I guess I can finally stop monologuing to myself and ask... you're still muted, by the way, Hunter. And ask you, man, what a great first episode of the new season.
I don't understand what the deal with Push to Talk's thing is, where every time I let go of it, it muted itself on top of... Also just not picking up any noise.
Hell yeah, man. Like and subscribe for high quality content on the channel, guys. But anyway, I digress. What was I saying? Hunter, what did you think of True Colors? As someone that hasn't played 2 yet.
It looks interesting for sure. Like, I like the mystery. I kind of wish I didn't know what the hook was going in now, but whatever. What can you do?
I kind of felt that too. Like when I'm even not gonna say it on the podcast because I feel like people shouldn't really know. But the fact that they gave away what the main like plot is, I was like, oh, they shouldn't have really given that away. Like I was like, maybe they should
I
have.
wish they didn't do that, but it's okay. I guess the
yeah.
power is interesting.
I
Like,
love that. I love it.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, damn, that's a Life is Strange power. The thing with Life is Strange 2 was they were just like, oh god, what power do we go with? Like, we had the power to turn back time in Life is Strange 1. And then in Life is Strange 2, they go with something completely different, which I thought was completely shit, to be honest. It was a really terrible power. It was my least favourite part of the game, was the power. So then, for Life is Strange 2 Colors to come out and be like, oh yeah, the power is she's basically a mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, where she can read everyone's emotions. And I love the whole idea behind not only being able to read emotions, but also being able to tap into them to see what the reason for causing them is. But when they only mention it very briefly, but the fact that if she uses her power for too long, if the emotions are too strong, that it can affect her, is like a really cool mechanic where I'm like, that's
a cool
super
way to
interesting.
balance it.
Yeah. And for Life is Strange, which is very much the game that goes for a definition of melancholy the whole time, I feel like tapping into emotions is something that I'm like, yeah, I think that'll fit Life is Strange really well. Do you have anything to add, Kyle? Someone that's not for a noob, for someone that doesn't know what Life is Strange really is or what it's about, other than seeing me play it on stream a couple of times, what do you think of it? Like, that's my thing. Is I feel like most people that are into Life is Strange is already into Life is Strange at this point.
I don't really know. I don't have many opinions on Life is Strange.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too big on visual novels personally, but I don't know. It seems interesting. Like, the powers this character has kind of piqued my interest a little bit.
Yeah.
It all seems like a very interesting setup, and I think it'll do pretty well.
Oh, I think it'll do really well. I think my favourite part is the fact that I was like, they had me. I was like, okay, I'm in, but I'm waiting till the final episode's out because you're not having me go on this year and a half train again. And then when they announced that it was all coming out at once, I'm like, damn it, I'm in. Like, they've sold me on it. Yeah.
Well, they got me.
So I heard you mention
we got them
while I was occupied for a minute.
Yeah.
And one thing that looks really cool is that they've got like the full motion capture.
Oh yeah,
stuff
using
going
motion
on.
captures.
I feel like that'll keep it from feeling as stilted as the first game did, where
Yeah.
it was kind of people talking back and forth through each other with camera pans
Yeah.
and very limited like actual movements.
Mm-hmm. I feel it's one of those things where I'm like, man, I'm surprised they haven't done this sooner, you know? Like, man, I wish that they had gone and done this sooner. Because the thing with Life is Strange has always been jarring to me is the animations. It has always been, sorry, for mouse is on my end, guys. I'm just trying to get a white screen that doesn't have weird stuff on it so that you don't see, like, weird things in my glasses. Work in progress, guys. Work in progress. New setup. But no, the thing with Life is Strange that's always jarred me is the animations at most times. I don't know about you, Hunter, but there's always... Life is Strange has always had one of those weird things where the characters always look... I like to call it an indie film. It's like the indie film version of a video game. It's very... The camera angles always feel a bit off at times, like it kind of feels shaky cam on purpose at times, but also not. And then the animations are a bit jarring and they don't tend to mesh well with the performances. Whereas with this one, it feels like they finally hit that, oh, we'll hire good actors and do mocap. And I'm like, hey, there we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah, I agree. The original, it does seem like it'll be a step up from that, to say the least. Some of the voice acting in the first game was a bit hit or miss.
It was a bit hit or miss in the second game as well, but the animations were more jarring to me in the second game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but no, it's interesting. I'm looking forward to this. Deck 9 has been, like they said they've been working on this since 2017, which to me is crazy because I think this game has been in development for as long as Life is Strange 2 was, and Life is Strange 2 finished like a year and a half ago. Like, I feel like this game's like a really long process, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'll definitely be playing it when it comes out. something to look forward to now that all these games are getting delayed. We have at
Yeah.
least Life is Strange